was already written for me. So I moved back home after I graduated from college. Alexa and I shared a room. I was 22 and she was 15. One day, she was cleaning out her stash of theatrical stories and songs she had written over the years, and I saved one from the trash. I had carried the story in my Bible for 10 years. I had to trace over it with a pen because the pencil was starting to fade, and I always used to tell her that I was going to use it as my maid of honor speech when she got married. If you look on the back, it says, Alexa's maid of honor speech. The time has come, so please enjoy the beautiful tale of Ariana, a princess. Long, long ago, there was a girl of the name Ariana. She was a beautiful girl with eyes as deep as the ocean and dark, luscious hair as lovely as pools of melted chocolate, and her lips were ruby red. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to make you sit through this whole story, but if you'd like to read it after, I have it in my pocket. Okay? I'd like to also say that I may cry because I'm pregnant, but we all know that is not true. I'm a crier, and this is my baby sister, so I'm making no promises that I'm going to be able to make it through this speech without some tears. There's a 7-year difference between Alexa and I, and when we were younger, I really felt that age gap. While I was applying for college, Alexa was 11 and still in elementary school. She was a dramatic, sassy, and emotional child, and let's face it, she still is those things as an adult. She wore a black toboggan everywhere she went until I lost it. I apologize. She wore flamboyant and colorful clothes that didn't really match, but she pulled them off with confidence. She cried every time to the SPCA commercial when it came on. She made us pick out all the green Apple Jacks because green was Owen's favorite color. She would paint Ian's toes after we blindfolded him and tied him to a chair in our closet. I hope this gives you a little bit of an idea of what growing up with Alexa was like. When I moved back home from college, we fought like cats and dogs. There was a very clear divide in our room where my organization ended and her explosion of expression began. People would always wonder how we would go into the same closet and put on dresses in polar opposite outfits. Mine were lots of browns and blacks, neutral colors, and hers were still the explosion of colors. I had to hide under the covers when I wanted to watch shows like Law and Order or Bones because she was terrified of the dead bodies on the screen, to the point where I had to convince her that one of them was just a moldy hand so that she could go to sleep.
I believe you for a year.
When Alexa moved to college, I did not handle freshman year very well. I wasn't the cool older sister that I obviously am now. She went on dates, I freaked out. She went out late at night alone, I freaked out. She got her belly button pierced, and I freaked out she was going down a path of destruction. And paddled over to tomorrow. But in all these things, there are still qualities about Alexa that never waver. Alexa loves deeply. If she is in your corner, she will fight for whatever justice she thinks you deserve. She is loyal and kind and tender-hearted. She's the best psychiatrist anyone could ask for. She listens and takes care of us no matter where she is. She has a heart of gold, and her crown is full of jewels. I am beyond blessed and thankful to be her sister, and standing up here today makes me both incredibly happy and incredibly sad, because now I have to share her with someone else. Joey, I hope you know and always remember how lucky you are that Alexa allowed you to choose her. Your desire to love and cherish her in the way she needs is admirable. The care you take to make sure she is loved and adored and watched over is something she has prayed for a very, very long time. I do have some advice for you to help you be as successful of a husband to her as possible. 1, do not take her to the movies until you have previewed it first. Ask any other siblings or childhood friends, they can tell you of at least one movie that Alexa has saw or blubbered through. Spider-Man, we almost got kicked out of the theater and people left. Dumbo, the drive-in probably wasn't the best idea. Big Hero 6, The Pursuit of Happiness, I would caution you to stay away from those titles. 2, make sure she always has snacks. Alexa gets hangry, like really hangry. And after that happens, you may as well just go home, so make sure you have snacks. 3, tell her she's gorgeous every minute of every day, because she is, and she doesn't always believe it. Hype her up on normal days, but really hype her up on the days when she is her own worst critic. 4, embrace her world and all the dramatic flair that it brings. She's my favorite actress ever, and her passion for what she loves is the best. Next time you come to Youngsville, we'll pull out all the old play DVDs so that you can experience it too. 5, love her and lead her to Jesus every single day. Point her to these truths and pray for her heart. 6, don't be bossy. She doesn't take it well, I know from experience. Explain your side of things, make it plain and clear, but never take away her opinion or her voice. 7, tell her to come home every once in a while. I'm a strong. She goes. I'm so happy for both of you and the life you're about to begin. I pray that God is always at the head of your household, that you work as a team, that if you go to bed angry, you still at least kiss her goodnight and plan to talk it out in the morning. Love each other well, and congratulations to you both. I wish you many years of happiness and conviction.
So awesome. Can we please have Marcos? Marcos, see the microphone?
Don't really know. Good evening, everybody. For those who don't know me, my name is Marcos. I'm the best man, and importantly, Joey's best friend. And truly honored to be standing here today. When Joey told me I was going to be the best man, I was thrilled. Until I found out that I was going to give a speech in front of all you people. So I've never done this publicly. So this was South, remember, it's Joey's fault. Now, I really didn't know how to do this when I was told I was giving a speech. But all I could think about was the day we met in construction class. We were goofing around, playing. Teacher looked straight at me and said, I already have a referral grant for you. Then looked at Joe and said, would you like to join him? And Joe immediately threw his hands up and said, I don't even know him. Then we found out that we were also the only two in the class that had any knowledge of what to do. Then after that, the rest is kind of history. We've been friends ever since. I'm happy. And I'm happy that he found something that makes him happy, and I see how much better she's made his life. And that he has someone there for all his lows and highs in life. I wish him a long, happy marriage life, and I'm excited to see this chapter of their lives together flourish. Sorry. I'm excited to see this chapter of their lives together flourish, and his new beautiful wife. The only thing I'm asking of you guys is to live every day like it's your life, like it's your last day, and never forget that you're each other's ride or die for life.
Thank you, Marcos. Now we're going to have Ian for the next speech.
Hello, everyone. So, I don't know exactly why I'm giving a speech. Les called me one day and said, hey, write a speech. I said, no. And so we argued back and forth on the phone for a little while, and we're gonna give a speech. So I have a bad habit of following lessons in line, which is why I'm up here giving this speech. So I decided to give a story that shows me following Alexa blindly. And for those of you that have been to my parents' house, you can go from the living room all the way through the kitchen down to the pantry at the end. It's really long. When me and Alexa were probably 5 and 6, 6 and 7, something around there, we decided it would be a great fun that we were taking those, you know those things that look like baby straws and they go, ooh, like that? We were taking that and we were taking plastic balls and we were hitting them all the way up to the pantry. From the living room to the pantry, just one after the next, one after the next. Alexa looks at me and she goes, Ian, this is going to be awesome. And I go, what? Tell me. She goes, what we're going to do is since these balls are going from here all the way to there, it has to be the floor. The floor is letting them slide all the way. I was like, Alexa, that's the best thing I've ever heard. So she goes, here's what we're going to do. You get into a ball on the slip floor. I was like, yes. She said, I'm going to take this thing, I'm going to whirl it real fast, and I'm going to hit you with it, and you're going to fly into the pantry. I said, this is why you're older. Wise. So I said, okay, let me get down. I get down to the ball. I'm curled. I'm ready. Let's go. Here we go. I hit it and go, woo, like that. All of a sudden, what? To my surprise, I went nowhere. All I had to know was a well going down on the back. And Alexa standing at home and going, So I get up, crying. I run to Mom. I tell her what happened. I go, Mom, she hit me. We thought we were going to fly. It didn't work. After the tears had finished and the pain had stopped, I said, okay, listen, it's your turn. And Alexa goes, no. Thank you. And that has been our story throughout our entire life. It has been Alexa going, Ian, here's an idea. You go first. I, for some reason, to this day, go first. And as long as no bodily harm happens to me, Alexa will be mine. If bodily harm happens, she's good. Yeah. So I'm very proud and honored to be a Wonder Twin. I'm very glad that I was an accident, and I was born so close. To Joey, Melissa, I'm sorry for the stuff that we're going to get into. It's going to happen. It's going to be a lot. We do tricks and shenanigans all the time. For the past 4 years, we've switched president from Amanda every year. And we think it's hilarious every year. She forgets all the time. I thank you for letting me get up here in this speech. And Joey, I hope you have as much fun growing old with her as I did growing up.
Now we have Sean. Sean, please take the microphone and give your take speech.
Me and Joey are cousins. He's only about 2 months older. Not 2 months older nonetheless. And I was trying to think of a good story. I couldn't get one story, but I think it's because
I had switched schools in middle school, so I was so young, and I didn't know anything but Joey. And I couldn't think of a story, but I couldn't think about what it takes to be friends with someone for as long as you've been close friends. And I think what it takes to be friends for as long as he has, he never judges. You always be yourself. So, it was, Marcos too, it's easy to be friends with someone for that long, and they don't judge you for anything, regardless of a lot of myself there to be at. I still take Alexa, she shoots me half the things he does is male friends. I think we kind of get more of that. That was shit from the best.
That's awesome.
Could you please do the lines of this thing?
I love to say they say the best for last, but crying through one of those speeches, so don't think it's here. But I recently gave a speech at my sister's wedding, and afterwards, Miss Eve, because she's Miss Eve to me, she'll always be Miss Eve, came up to me and she said, well, if you can just copy and paste that for Alexa, I think it'll be set. And I said, my thought at the moment was, if there's one thing that Alexa is not, it's a copy paste. My girl is just always going to be herself. Alright, so my name is Elizabeth Campbell. I am matron and maid of honor number 2. I want to thank you all first so much for being here. I've known some of you here today for the majority, maybe all of my life, and some of you today are new friends. It's such a testament to the lives and the quality of our bride and groom here today that so many of you are here to support the beginning of their marriage. I take so much comfort in seeing the kind of men that Joey has surrounded himself with, and just the kind of man he's displayed himself to be over the weekend. I'm so glad to find Alexa has picked such a hopeful guy, and a man who is also very type A and organized. Yeah. My memories of sweet Alexa Lee, who at one stage was fondly known as Bubba Bangs in my house. That was a stage, a short stage. Are filled with my girl being less than type A. Has anyone here, show of hands, been on a trip with Alexa? Show of hands. Show of hands, awesome. Okay, so you will know that Alexa's form of packing consists of throwing a menagerie of clothes, jewelry, shoes, and cosmetics into a bag the night before. And yet, when it comes down to it, she will have the one thing you forgot, and she will gladly lend it to you at the cost of your own pride. Growing up, Alexa's house was always a magical place for me. An old horse barn, a chinchilla, fish, endless Barbies, a dress-up clothes, a closet full of clothes, and inevitably, hermit crabs at the end of every beach trip. Now, Alexa's hermit crab always would have a beautiful mini pink shell, sparkles, beautiful hermit crab. And one year she comes back from this beach trip with this hermit crab. And I was the friend who would always chase her around with the frogs. And so she's like, hey, you want to hold my hermit crab? And I want to hold your sparkly pink hermit crab. And so she hands me the hermit crab, which promptly grabbed on for its life onto my hand. And it stayed there as I screamed and thrashed and fought for it. And after only about 10 minutes, finally released its grip under a stream of cold water. It had enough of me. Here's the thing. I could go on and on and on about the memories of my childhood with Alexa. She was such a key part of who I am, and just the entirety of my childhood growing up. The memories and
brief moments don't tell everything. They don't tell you that Alexa was one of the only people who consistently reached out to me after I moved away. They don't tell you that Alexa came and visited me in Africa before my grandparents ever did. They don't tell you how Alexa is one of the people that I feel safest with, or how she's the person I can tell anything to, or how she makes me feel truly known, and how she makes me feel understood. The memories don't explain the depth of feeling behind them, the history, this language only we speak. And now, Alexa will get to begin that same kind of history with Joey. She will show him the same kind of love, safety, acceptance, joy, laughter, and kindness she's shown to me. She will get to build a lifetime of memories and history with this man who has chosen to love and care for her. Joey, I ask that in return, you care and love for her. Create your own story, your own memories that will turn into a lifetime of warmth to lean on with each other. I wish you both a lifetime of happiness. Congratulations, Alexa and Joey.